Yeah. Heck, man. American pickers ain't got nothing on me, man. Hello, you resale treasure hunting junkies. Hope you're all doing well this morning. So we're, sorry, I gotta get more coffee in me. Gotta have that dose. This morning, what I'm doing, man, for one, I've been trying to get out here and do it. It's chilly this morning. The sun's out, though, man. It's pretty nice. It gives me the itch to get out there and do some treasure hunting. That is for sure. What I'm doing right now, and I thought I'd go over what I've done for years, man, all the way back in the flea market days to whenever, and even actually back when I was running the auctions, you know, because I used to do a lot of buying and selling at auctions. I used to run 5 auctions a week, and I was buying stuff and selling at them. I always said I was just in the transporting business because I was transporting stuff. But what I used to do in the off season, like in you know, spring, summer, and into the early fall, because the prices would go up, is I'd buy holiday, Christmas stuff, Thanksgiving stuff, you know, and I'd buy that stuff during the springtime and the summertime and stockpile it. Well, that's exactly what I do with fishing, hunting. You know, I don't deal in a lot of like skiing and stuff like that, but I have friends that pick up that stuff, you know, in the off season, you know, snowboards and skis and snowsuits and even snowmobiles, and you know, and they buy 4-wheelers and stuff like that in the winter, and you know, and it's all just, you can pick it up so much cheaper in the off season, and then it's prime. Well, now with the sun coming out, and I mean, I've got the itch, man. I am ready to go fishing. You know, when the sun comes out like this, the temps are starting to warm. You can't see it, but we still got, you know, 2.5, 3 foot of snow out here. But it's getting closer, and it's stillhead time. You know, we've got some issues with that. That's a whole different video. But so, what I have here, and this doesn't even touch how many. I've probably got, I would say, I probably have a dozen tackle boxes, some with stuff in them, some of them not, that need to be cleaned up. Everything from the vintage metal ones, you know, to the, you know, I only pick up the good unless they're loaded with stuff. But, you know, the old Planos and stuff like that, pick up the plastic nice boxes. I ended up just giving Kevin D one, man, that was, actually, I think some of that stuff might have came out of that one, but gave him a little Plano. And then this cardboard box of stuff here, what had happened with that is it was a tackle box that I was going to go through and cherry pick, because that's the other thing. You know, me, you know, fishing's my passion, man. That's just, I live for it. And for me, when I buy these tackle boxes, it's so cool because I go out and I buy this fishing you know, reels. I probably have somewhere around 100 fishing poles, and I know I have out in the shed out there 2 milk crates full of fishing reels that I need to go through and, you know, pick out the Mitchells and the, you know, the name brand ones, and oil them up, you know, clean them up. I take them all apart and stuff. That might be a later video I might show going. I'm not going to go through all this. I set this stuff out here getting ready for me to go through. But what I was getting at is I cherry pick this stuff, you know, and like this, it's like this thing of sinkers right here. See, this will go in my tackle box. You know, anything that I can use. I know you can't really see, but like Rapalas, man. That right there, man. That's a $7 Rapala split fish, you know. So stuff like that. And I'll show you the boxes here in a minute when we're done, after I get done talking about it. But so I'll go through and cherry pick the stuff I'm getting. There's a jitterbug. See, now I'll be sidetracked. You know, those right there, man. That one's probably $5, $6. What I was saying is this box right here was that I have a big tackle box in there. And what did happen is I had it out back with a bunch of other fishing stuff. And when Kevin was asking me if I still had a tackle box for him, I was like, oh yeah, man, let me go get that. So I was going to give him the choice between this big one that was loaded. He didn't get all the stuff that was in it, though. But the big one that was loaded and this little one. And when I went back there, you know, snow or water basically had found its way in under the tarps, because I had it out there under a lean-to, you know, open sides, but under a lean-to and under a tarp but somehow the water found its way in, and I don't know how, because the tackle box was closed, so it must have been cockeyed where it came in. But that thing, man, I opened it up and it was just full of water. And if you know anything about fishing or fishing hooks, you know, a normal, like an eagle claw fishing hook, within a week that will rust out of a fish. It's designed that way. Within a week it'll rust out of a fish's mouth. So a lot of that stuff on these Rapalas and stuff like that, if it sat in water and started rusting, they're done. You need to change out the hooks, because it's, you know, dulled them and made them weak, where if you get a bite or whatever, man, it'll just break the barb and the hook off. So I was not very happy about that. And so what I did is I pulled that tackle box out, it's actually over in the shed, and grabbed this cardboard box, took it in where it was warm, because it was kind of icy too, which actually probably might have saved some of my stuff, because it had froze, so that the stuff was frozen in it and not just sitting there, you know, rusting away, kind of, because the freezing kind of slows down the process. So I took it inside, dumped it into a cardboard box so that it would kind of absorb and let, you know, the water seep out, and sat it in there by the fire, and just pulled it out here to go. And now we'll go through it, and I'll pull out the stuff, and then I'll change the hooks on any of the lures that have had any, I mean, if there's any touch or rust on any of the fishing lures and stuff like that right there, you can still, there's still water in those, which ain't gonna hurt them sinkers now. So back to the seasonal stuff. So I'll go through this. I'll pull out because I'm ready to go fishing, so I'm going to pull out, you know, and add it to my tackle boxes. I have a lot of tackle boxes worth of stuff, but add the ones that I want to. See, that's a bummer. That's an old Johnson spoon box that's damaged. Might be able to save it. But add the stuff to my tackle boxes that I want to keep, and then go through, and I will load up some of the stuff into, you know, a smaller tackle box or another tackle box, or put a bunch of stuff in the big, if I'm getting rid of that much stuff, into that bigger tackle box. Because, man, I sell a lot of tackle boxes loaded ready for fishing, man. All you got to do is, you know, you buy it on eBay, comes in the mail, man, you grab that tackle box, you fish and pull, and you're gone fishing. So I sell a lot of stuff like that. The older, you know, I don't really see, there's a couple of jitterbugs and stuff, you know, not a, which the old antique, man, I used to sell a lot of antique and vintage fishing lures before eBay. You know, back when I was doing antique shows and flea markets, I had a whole wall of them hanging, man. I used to, you know, make bank on the old fishing lures. But after eBay, you know, now, you know, eBay's done that to dang near everything, you know, because the market, I mean, they're worldwide. You can get on the internet and look at them. Back then, man, you'd see one at a flea market or something like that. You may never see one again before the internet. So I'm going to go through this stuff, go through these. I don't even know if these ones are, and a lot of times you'll get these tackle boxes like this. This is, you know, it's tackle box, an old, made in the USA. I don't know what brand it is, but it's an old metal tin tackle box that somebody's actually used the, it's got the flexible shaft cord for a Dremel. And I was like, well, cool, because I bought it. I'll use the Dremel stuff for my wood carving and all that, and then I'll sell the tackle box. So not always, as you know, not always do tackle boxes have tackle in them. Let's see what's in this one. I haven't even looked at these since I brought them in. Let's see, now this one's more fishing line. See a few spinners and different stuff down in them. See, and this one would be a good one to pull all this stuff out, clean it up, and then load the trays up, you know, and make a loaded up fishing tackle box just in time for fish season. This one's actually an old pal. This is a good one. Good old metal one. And then I've got, I'll show you this. We'll talk about this here in a minute too. Just some of the treasures, man. Oh, we'll talk about these in a minute too. You start piling all this stuff up, dude. So then this is pretty funny, is a wireless internet thing. But I got a whole bucket of, I got fly reels, closed face reels, spinning reels, Mitchell. Got Mitchell, these sell pretty good. Extra spools with old Mitchell, you know, the old original case with an extra spool in it. So I'll go through and separate all that stuff out. I showed these 2 reels on one. And this is actually the stuff. I put it in my chicken bin. And one of the reasons I bought this one, this is more of a sentimental thing, is the one tackle box. And I actually found a little junk shop on the way up through, somewhere outside Grangeville. And it was funny because I'm all the way, headed north, Idaho. And, I grew up part of my life in McCall. And when I was a kid in McCall, it was called Medley's, and it was like my dream store. It was like a sporting goods store and stuff. But my grandpa gave me them. But the first fishing pole that I ever bought with my own money that I made was from Medley's, man. Medley's Sporting Goods. It's long gone now, but anyway. So the one tackle box, I'm up there and outside Grangeville, little junk shop, and inside there's a little tackle box, man. I'm looking through. There's pretty decent stuff, and it was $10. There was definitely $10 worth of stuff. The box was just plastic, so it wasn't worth a lot of money. And I may or may not have bought it, before I seen on these. And I'm looking through, and then there's a fishing. I actually sent my mom a picture as soon as I got it. But there's the old, that you keep your fishing licenses in, old plastic insert that you hold in your wallet. And it was a Medley Sporting Goods. That right there was worth $10 by itself to me. I was the prey that day. So I ended up buying that, and then when I was going through cleaning it out, because that's the tackle box I gave to Kevin D. And when I was going through it, I noticed on these, I don't see it right there. There's a bunch of Medley Sporting Goods price tags. And to me, when I see that and stuff, it's like my grandpa giving me a hug. Just old feelings come back. And as a reseller, we play on those feelings, man. That's, people pay a lot of money for memories, man. Even this poor old sucker. So there's, man, a bunch of just miscellaneous fishing stuff. Like I said, we'll scavenge over that. This, man, came out of one of the tackle boxes. This is loaded up with all plastics. When you go out and buy these things, just crazy money. I'm trying to see if there's any price tags on any of them. But, you're talking, man, $3 or $4 a bag. So I'll pick those up, like I said, and then I'll go through and keep or whatever what I want and put the rest out. 2 baits. I'm just looking at fishing stuff, dude. I won't finish this video. All right. So that's kind of, a little bit touching on that. So, man, if you're getting into this, and the main thing in any of this, anything, is to find your niche, And fishing, mushroom hunting, and junking is my passions. So it's just natural for me to resell, that kind of stuff, man. And I've bought and sold fishing stuff my whole life, and I just love it. And my favorite thing about it, I end up with stuff like that. Look at that, man, rooster tails and stuff. This whole box is mine. So. Okay, so there's a little bit on that. So you need to find your niche, pick up the stuff in the off season, and if you got a bunch of fishing tackle and crap like that to sell, 'tis the season, man. And start getting that stuff, and your camping stuff, man. I'll start pulling out all my lanterns and all my, woodsman, bushcraft, axes, hatchets, knives, all that, man. 'Tis the season, man. It's, spring is in the air, baby. So we'll talk about these old traps. Think about old traps. I did some trapping and stuff when I was a kid and stuff with my stepdad's brother-in-law, Rich, and and did a little bit, trapped a few muskrats and all that kind of stuff growing up. Went out, badgers, coyotes, all that, and. A lot of people, why don't you trap your creek bottom and stuff like that? I have nothing against trapping, and obviously, man, I'm into the mountain men and the trappers and all that. But just for me, myself, first of all, there's no money in it anymore. And, it's, like I said, I have nothing against my buddy Muskrat, man, traps like crazy. Well, not this year because he's moving. But anyway, I have nothing against it. I have friends that still trap. I get invited to go out. I get invited to go out and run dogs on bears and all that stuff. And it's just not for me, man. you know, and I've been out there and seen the animals trapped and stuff, and it's a very sad way, you know, it's a very sad, you know, I think it's the older I've gotten, it's even more so, you know, I just ain't into it, man, but I have nothing against it whatsoever. But I do love to buy and sell traps. And the thing about traps is the same with, this one's an old diamond brand. I still need to look this one up. It's more of a rare trap. The Victors, like these, pretty common traps, you know, different style there. More common, not worth a lot of money. I might sell these on the .com site, maybe. You know, and I pick them up a lot of times. I just, you know, when it's a perfectly good trap like this, I just can't do it. But I make knives out of the springs, and I make knives out of the jaws, and then I kind of collect and do different wind chimes and different things out of these. But I don't, man, when it's a perfectly good trap like that, I just ain't got the heart to tear it apart. But then you got this old diamond brand. I need to look it up. It's more of a rare one, man, you know, so I'll research that. But just like with the fishing lures or anything else, back in the flea market days, you know, $35 for a double spring trap, easy, $35. The older ones, you know, and then you get into the, you know, new house and stuff like that, hundreds. I sold a new house foot plate, just the plate. I sold for, I think I ended up getting about $200. You can look back on the videos over at Idaho Hillbilly and see that new house. Found it in a flower bed, all rusted up and stuff, cleaned it up, and I think I can't remember exactly what I got, but good dang money for the old new house. But now, you know, the old bear traps are still worth a fortune. But nowadays, with the internet, man, it's just, they're so common and everything like that. And, you know, muskrat, buy a new trap. I know a muskrat trap, I think you can still buy brand new for $4 or $5. It's been that price since I was a kid and bought my own, you know, muskrat trap. All right, so now we'll talk about the old barn find White's Coin Master metal detector. Pretty cool, huh? I love it. I had one real similar to this when I was a kid. And I scored this one. And, you know, I love metal detecting. Hoping to do a lot more of it this year. Miss Kitty. And when I got this one, I thought, well, that's cool, you know, because you don't want to spend a ton of money on something if you're not going to use it, you know. And I want to get another White's. And then actually, I've been watching old Aquachigger, and man, he's using the Garrett, and I want to get a waterproof one. But anyway, so when I scored this, I thought, okay, because I got my Grandpa Scott's metal detector, and I was using it, I think it was last year or the year before. I actually did a little bit of video over at Idaho Video. Go over to Idaho Hillbilly and check us out too. But I was using that, man, found some stuff, you know, some square nails and stuff. Loved it, man. I was like, woo. And then me and Kitty were talking, and she said, well, I think we should get another one, and, you know, we'll both do some metal detecting together. And so I ended up scoring this one, and I thought, well, man, I'll just get this, you know, and I'll use this, because, I mean, this back in its day, this thing was state of the art. So I picked it up and thought, all right, man, I'll, you know, go ahead and go with this. And then, you know, I've been watching a lot of treasure hunting videos and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I think we'll go with, you know, obviously I would never get rid of Grandpa Scott's, but we'll keep Grandpa Scott's, and then we'll pick up a, you know, a Garrett or something like that. So this one, I want to, it takes, I think, 14 AA batteries or some crazy thing. But we're going to test it and everything, make sure everything's working, and then this will be, you'll find it'll be on either the .com or over at eBay here pretty soon. So I'm going to sell this, take the money from this, and put towards, you know, a Garrett or something like that. That's about, man, that's what is going on as far as the junking. I'm going to be going through this, but we are actually, Miss Kitty is packing up. Slow weekend on eBay. I don't know how you did, man. You can leave in the comments below how your weekend was. It was, started out good. Thursday and Friday was good, and then I got nothing but, I'm talking lowball offers. I had a 30% off sale going on, and then they were offering me 50% of the 30% off, man, and it was It was a slow dang weekend, so let me know in the comments below how yours, if you resell on eBay. If not, maybe you ought to try it. It's a good way to make extra money or make a living. What else? Oh, and then I'm getting ready. We've got a place that we need to get up to treasure hunt now that the weather's changing. And then if you watch my other channel, you know, the green bean threw the tread off of the tire. So I'm actually, as soon as I get this video loaded, we are headed out. My son-in-law's got one of them Harbor Freight tire changers. So we're going to take out and put a tire just to get us by so that hopefully we can go out and do a little treasure hunting tomorrow until I get the tires in that I'm ordering. So we'll see, but that's about it, man. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Trying to get this channel. I think we went over 900 last night, man. Trying to get it. Once we hit 1,000, we're going to figure out something and somehow and give something away after we get over that 1,000. And make sure you go over to Idaho Hillbilly and like and subscribe while you're over there. And check out the IdahoHillbilly.com. We're trying to build up something there too, man. Busy. So always remember, keep your eye on the skyline, your nose to the wind. And if you're out there treasure hunting, hope you find some color in the bottom of your pan. See ya.